Thank you very much, Linda. Yeah, happy to be present at this platform to share more about what 350.org focuses on, especially in terms of addressing climate change by campaigning against fossil fuels. So also so that I can be able to deliver effectively, I think I'll be turning off my video so that I can as well share my screen. Yeah, just a moment. I hope you can all be able to see my screen. And I think my computer is frozen a bit. Okay. Yes, so my focus today is on
could you put it in presentation mode?
Sorry, I guess. So my focus for today is just talking about ending fossil fuel finance and providing climate finance. And just to bring it home, I wanted also to just speak a little bit about the role of development finance institutions in just ensuring sustainability and human rights. And the reason because is when you talk about climate change, this is an aspect that affects everyone in as much as we may not be able to see it, but ideally, climate impacts have been causing catastrophic impacts on our lives. A recent case is the drought in Madagascar, which the World Food Program indicated has pushed so many people to experience famine, and a lot more are on the brink of starvation. And beyond just drought and famine, there's also tropical storms being experienced in different parts of the world. And in Africa specifically, we have there was the cyclone Idai, which took place in 2019 and affected at least 3 countries and about 3 million people who were affected. But you realize that beyond the fossil fuel industry, there are people fueling this climate catastrophe by investing financially in fossil fuel projects that contribute a lot of carbon emissions that do lead to climate impacts. And among the broad scale of finances involved, there are also public finance institutions who are mandated actually to kind of protect and cushion the public from any financial or any social and social impacts. But then they are the ones who are at the core of also influencing or also contributing to fueling climate catastrophe, which impacts on our own sustainability and affects and thereby affect our human rights significantly. So in this case, I just wanted to highlight DFIs, and mainly they were focused mainly in the public purview, but recently, based on different economic pathways, the private sector has increasingly had a say, and so they're increasingly becoming interconnected. And we have And we have a broad range of DFIs ranging from multilateral development banks, national development banks, export credit agencies, and other international and regional financial institutions. So you would wonder then why we need these DFIs. And the reason is because in order just to meet or to achieve the SDGs, we would need approximately $5 to $7 trillion per year annually to secure just the investment gap in developing countries. And you all know that the COVID situation has further widened the financing gap, and climate change is an existential crisis. And without it being dealt with, it continues to exacerbate the financial gap. And so we still rely on development finance institutions to be able to help us to achieve our sustainable development goals without leaving anyone behind. So I just wanted to focus mainly on the core development finance institution in Africa, which is the African Development Bank. And African Development Bank is not country specific. It's a regional multilateral development finance institution. However, its regional status makes it have more control over the financial institution across Africa, which is a good thing and also not a nice thing. Because of this, when countries rely on the African Development Bank, more often than not, it seems that we are at the mercy of the AFDB and whatever terms and conditions they want to apply to the finances that they do support us with. But you realize that this development finance institution still has a huge role to play in helping us to address human rights and sustainability challenges that we are facing in Africa. And so in terms of their financing approach, the United Nations developed guiding principles on business and human rights, and this is meant to just protect institutions from not abusing or taking advantage or having negative impacts on human rights. And so the UN guiding principles do rest on 3 pillars, and one is to protect, which mainly has a focus on the state to ensure that they have a duty to protect human rights. The second pillar rests on corporate or businesses, which have a duty to respect human rights in their operations. And the third pillar is on remedying any impacts that arise thereafter. And this is just to give victims a remedy in case of business-related abuses. And so in terms of the African Development Bank, which essentially is meant to cushion Africa from harsh financial situations, you realize that on the flip side, beyond funding or granting access to funds that ensure sustainability and human rights. They're also contributing a lot to fuel the climate crisis by investing significantly in the fossil fuel industry. A case in point is the Mozambique LNG, liquid natural gas exploration. And you realize that in such a country, there is the resource curse, whereby the country is quite blessed with natural resources, but this ends up being a curse because in the process of exploration, then there are conflicts with everyone wanting to get a piece of the pie. And this has fueled terrorism in the region, affecting innocent citizens. There have been promises of jobs, which mostly are usually just casual and do not last for very long. And so you realize that by AFDB investing in supporting the fossil fuel exploration in Mozambique, then they are adversely impacting on human rights and jeopardizing the sustainability just of the planet, our sustainability, and just in terms of contributing to impacting climate change adversely. And you realize that when there was the cyclone Idai, FDB only contributed approximately 100 million to the people who were affected, about 300 million in Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. And this is just a fraction of their typical investment in fossil fuels. So, for instance, the Mozambique LNG case, AFDB in contrast contributed 400 million to fossil fuel exploration. So you can see that this public development bank, instead of investing and securing their finances for sustainability and human rights, are actually providing fossil fuel finance, which leads to climate change and a lot of human rights abuses, and thereby not observing or not abiding by the United Nations guiding principles on business and human rights. And this actually just brings me to the core of why we need to campaign, why we need to be activists and push for campaigning against ending fossil fuel finance, and on the flip side, encourage financial investments in the climate sector, and also just contributing to ensuring that the development finance institutions meet the energy needs of Africa, because that is usually a major concern. And Africa, being the most vulnerable continent, still is considered that fossil fuels are what will unlock the economic or the development of Africa, which essentially is not true, because fossil fuels are not sustainable. And if $400 billion could have been channeled to clean renewable energy in Africa, then that would mean that FDB has contributed to ensuring that we minimize climate change impacts, that we meet the energy needs of Africa significantly and in a clean manner, and that we ensure that we are not negatively affecting sustainability and human rights. And this just adds up to such DFIs aligning themselves to the to the Paris Agreement and ensuring that we meet the the goal of keeping global temperatures below 1.5 degrees, and also just meeting or achieving our sustainable development goals in terms of financial aspects. And this is because climate justice is a human rights aspect, and the pathway for this is ensuring that we advocate for a better planet and for a better future for ourselves, and we ensure that we are petitioning or we are actively campaigning to push for financial investments in climate finance, which have a guarantee in ensuring that we are protecting the people and the planet. And as we head to the COP26, and also as similar public finance institutions attend the Finance in Common Summit, which is going to be held actually today and tomorrow. This is a chance also to just amplify our voices and push on for activism in terms of ensuring that we are demanding for an end of fossil fuel finance, and just channeling those investments in the climate finance, to ensure that we have suitable measures to adapt to mitigate climate impacts, and also just to ensure that we are resilient enough when it comes to adverse climate impacts. And also just to bring it home and to show you another case in point is when the fossil fuel industry invest in projects like the East African crude oil pipeline, which is from Uganda to Tanzania, and Total Energies is the key project developer of the ECOP from Western Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. And they're constructing a pipeline that will cross say the Lake Victoria Basin. And in the event that there are...
I think because of time, can you wrap up? We give you 1 minute.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just wrapping up with this case in point. So in the event that there is a leak in the Lake Victoria Basin, then you realize that a lot of people will be impacted by this, because they are reliant on the lake, not only for food, but also as a source of their livelihoods, while in retrospect, the project developers and the financiers who are lending money to the projects will be making a profit out of this. And so just to wrap up, this is more of an urge for us to ensure that we are raising our voices to ensure that we are campaigning or campaigning to just end fossil fuel finance, and also just to ensure that these investments are channeled to the right aspects that protect our human rights, and also are protective of us in terms of climate justice, and also ensuring sustainable development. And with that, I just want to thank you so much, and hand back to you, Linda.